Something massive is happening. I want to talk to you about it today because I want to address a few questions such as, was this intentional? What is the purpose of this global pandemic? And what's going to happen from here on out? We've talked about people saying that there's a new order coming in and this is a way of control, but I'm going to give you a perspective right now that can empower you. A massive change is happening and you could be a part of it in the most powerful, amazing way ever presented in the history of the planet. We're doing it right now. Come join me. Let's get ready. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube. Here to help you break past the fears because we are not powerful when we're in fear. And we're going to talk about that today because we know something massive is happening. I've talked about predictions and that we are changing the predictions, that we are creating them at every moment. This is a fact. Somebody said, I was talking about the frequency of the planet. He says, what are the hertz? 7.8 for a human being above, and we keep rising above that, which means that's where we go with healing, manifesting, intuition, right? You expand, you get away from density. Density is limiting, and this is what we came here to do, is to use this power to really identify that's what we are. The frequency of the planet is at about 25 hertz. It's the highest it has ever been in the history of this whole planet. Why? Because we're affecting it. Your vibration affects me. Somebody else's affects you. And this is why the Dalai Lama said, if there's negative energy in the room, get away from it. Don't heal it. I'm going to help you. No, it is choosing what it wants to do. This is why people get very frustrated when I say love and compassion for everyone. Because that journey is not to be judged. And then this is wrong. Well, he without sin cast the first stone. I'm going to talk to you about the massive change. Was this intentional? I'm going to tell you why you don't need to know any of this information. You remember David and Goliath? Goliath was taken down with a slingshot and a rock. He was a marksman, a little guy, right? Never underestimate anybody. We all have equal abilities. And when we move past fear and we face it, it no longer becomes scary. It no longer has power over you because nothing has power over you. So what's happening right now, we will never truly know what started this or why, what the intentions are. If it really was just an illness that spread, is it really just shown up or has it been around? I actually had this a year ago. I got off of a cruise ship, identical symptoms, all of them. For 2 weeks, the cough, the pain, couldn't get up the stairs, the breathing, all of it. Has this been around for a while? Here's the answer. It doesn't matter. Do you know, and you can read in the Bible and many, many other stories from prophets and amazing historical teachings that have been shared with us through the centuries, that there was always this unbelievable outcome, a miracle, right? With maybe troops that were way outnumbered, no weapons compared to the big guys, the big dudes that were taking over. And then maybe they used their shields and flashed them and blinded the other troops who had tons of weapons and then attacked and were victorious. Just because things look a certain way and you hear this stuff doesn't mean that's the outcome. You can create that if you want. You can be defeated. You can use fear to defeat you personally and go into that reality of the third and the fourth dimension where whoever steps in and takes over and we're automatons and we get vaccinations and whatever, nothing can ever harm you. Nothing. Nothing. People have been in POW camps and concentration camps and all kinds of stuff, and you'll hear stories of triumph, of people that really went through this spiritual evolution because of that situation. They became stronger and they used it. But the majority of people see this material world and they're in a third dimensional, fourth dimensional thinking, right? Why? Why? Because they believe it and they're dense. When you go into the fourth and fifth dimensions, that is when you're starting to use intuition. You're starting to go with what you know is possible. You're believing and knowing that quantum physics is real. You're not telling yourself, well, that's not true. Yes, it is true. Okay, you know, everything's possible. And so you go into this space where you know that you can create anything. So it doesn't matter if Goliath is standing in front of you. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant in why he's there, what his intentions are, or what he's going to do if he's here and it's not good for us, and it's a lower frequency. Get your slingshot out. But we're not going to use violence, ever, because that's a lower density. You only resort to physical, let's just say, protection or actions when you have no more options, right? However, Gandhi had his people lay down in front of the tanks. They didn't have the weapons to fight the British, so they just laid down. And they were banking on the British not having that, just let's say, heartlessness to run them over, and they were right. And so, history, right? This is our shining, amazing moment. When you can put aside all the stories of why, and I'm going to spend all my time trying to figure out who did what and who knows what. Full disclosure is irrelevant to me. I don't need the same people who've been lying to us to tell me what's going on. I know what's going on. There are people that are still operating on their own behalf and for the behalf of small groups of people that just want to control, that have no respect for the planet or people or anything else. They are driven not just by money, power. And that is a really low density. That is as far away from oneness as you can get. That's total separation. So I want you to understand something. This video isn't about telling you who's doing what, because no one, not one person on YouTube has that answer. Not one. So you can watch them all day long. Where is that focus? You are a quantum field of energy. You are an energy field of which you have free will to control, that contributes to the collective of which there's no separation. What are you going to do with it? Every time you concentrate and focus on something, you're creating it. So you say, well, you know, this is how it is. No, you're creating it, and you will go into that world with fear, believing all the garbage, focused on it, blaming everybody, being a victim. And those who are focused on the new earth and the new world, this massively amazing thing that's going on right now, awakening. Awakening's happening right now. You feel it, don't you? Somebody said, document, this is document. I said, document, show me the proof. You haven't watched my videos. So people that watch like 2 minutes and they make comments, I can tell they didn't watch it. I gave statistics from scientific organizations, multiple ones, that monitor just the frequency of the planet. And then they're doing experiments showing that there's a correlation between our thoughts and feelings and that frequency. That's all you need to know. And we do manifest that which we focus on. We know that's true. There you go. Raise your frequency. Healing, miracles, awakening. What happens in awakening? Everything beautiful. Things are restored. Those in the lower frequency will participate in what they're viewing. Be careful with that. A massive change is happening. I cannot say this enough, and you're going to see video after video of me talking about this. Because if you don't participate in it, you won't participate in it. That's all it comes down to. What are you going to choose? You are massively powerful, amazing. Nothing can harm you. Oh, this is here and this is here. Well, it's because you believe it, and you believe it has some power over you. The dark forces and the light forces. No, I don't believe that. I really don't. I believe that we are all one beautiful thing, playing out those roles. None of them are truly real, but they're real to us in this material world. I mean, we're really impacted by it. So we're going to play it out. Yes, you do experience it, but it's not your true essence. Everyone, from that rapist to that murderer to the beggar, is an amazing, beautiful light. And all of it's part of the scenario. And you get to choose where you participate. This massive awakening is happening right now. And if you don't feel that, it's time to get on board with it and get your slingshot out. Because there's no organization, institution out there that controls you. And the more that we pull together in peace and love and focus on that which is best and highest for our planet, we must repair her. We must repair all the damage that has been done and send her our blessings, respect her every single day in what we do, how we use her, what we eat, everything. And we are connected to her. Everything's connected to us, and it feels the toxicity of what we do to ourselves. So if you are looking at all this out there and you're complaining, I'm going to ask you what you're putting into your body. Are you believing the stuff that you need to be on drugs? That's all brainwashing. So if you believe in this whole institution out there that's making us do everything, then you are a victim. And you're really not, because you can be anything you want. But you can choose that role. We all get to choose. I don't know about you, but I'm sensing a huge shift. And if you watched my video, I got a major download. This cannot be stopped. We've hit the tipping point of awakening. It cannot be stopped because more people are awakening and more people are awakening, and it's going. It's going, it's going, it's going. But again, if you are down here hanging on to this old story of how things work, it's all just made up stuff we as humans have created. We've created all of this. We've allowed ourselves to be overpowered. We go along with it. We work in jobs we hate and tell ourselves we must do this, we must do that. Why? We're told we need to stay in relationships are bad because it's wrong to get divorced. I know some of you are going to have a tough time with this. Why? Because you've been told something too. You didn't make this up yourself. You've been told something. So ask yourself, how much is programming of what you've been told by your parents and their parents and their parents and their parents? You know that the truth is there is only unconditional love, no judgment, total compassion on that highest level. Are you in it? Massive change right now. People are going. I see it. I'm seeing the shift. I'm hearing you guys shift. People will still write me sometimes with excuses. I need to talk to you. No, you need nothing. You hold the essence of everything you could ever desire, ever want, and you get to play that out. Go into miracles. I have a miracle circle down here. I have Shift into Miracles, a 3-hour class down there with a code, discount code. I'm equipping you. I have more and more tools coming out, more webinars, more classes, more whatever, because it's not easy to shift over when you've been told something that you believe so strongly in. When you can let that go, an opening so huge is going to come before you. And it's going to be amazing. You're going to feel it. And like some of my students are writing me saying, I got everything from somebody saying they got free chips, French fries at a store. A guy went back and said, I'm not supposed to do this, to somebody got an amazing job in the middle of this when in an industry that she works in that nobody's working right now. Got a call. Two or three more amazing things are happening. She's in my prosperity course and breakthrough fear. Why? She's using the tools. She's seeking out the help. She's using the tools, implementing and saying, everything that's stopping me right now is a story. And if there's a story that makes me feel bad, then I know it's a lower frequency story. It's limiting me. Massive awakening. Right now, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. And I know we're going to go through more change. There's more to come. Strap on your seatbelt. But you know what? You can get on that ride and laugh and put your hands up. Woo! By the way, I wasn't one of those people. I couldn't stand that. My brother would go in the front. Ah! Woo! I'd be in the back going, please make it stop. Can you be in the front going, woo? Hey, you like my sweater? Isn't this cool? Woo! Or somebody's in the back, like I was. I hate this, get me off of this. You get to choose. So if you don't love it, how do you get past it? Well, like I'm supplying tools for people, I would have worked with somebody and to learn how to love the ride. I had this thing about snakes. So I went to University of Michigan. I went into this department, this guy had a boa. I said, I want to get past my fear of snakes. So he worked with me. I got close to it. I got to touch it. Finally, I realized it was a beautiful creature. It was just a beautiful creature. It didn't want to hurt me. Anything it ever does is just self-defense, just like the rest of us. People strike out because they're in fear. Remember that. When you see these comments that come through that are going into negative space, that's a person in fear. They see the world differently than you. Have compassion for that. Because your criticism of anybody else who doesn't think like you is the lower judgmental frequency. When you can show compassion and say, this person's coming from fear. Now, don't do it in a judgmental way. Oh, they're fearful and I'm awakened. You'll know it. You'll know when you're coming from that place of compassion. Just looking at somebody else and saying, this is a beautiful person going through a journey, another student. Massive awakening right now, my friend. Please join me. It's beautiful, and every choice you make, you can step away from everything we've been told we're supposed to do that we know is not good for us. We don't have to harm anybody or post nasty stuff online or, pull this more fake news about what's going on out there. It's irrelevant to me. What's happening is what I'm doing right now. So if you're focused on all that, you are not the action, you are not the good news of the transition of the planet. This is all for you right now. I promise you it's beautiful. And when you shift into this, things are going to happen for you. You guys, I've shared stories with you on here. People have used things and it's been life-changing for them. Something little, just one little thing, reverberates throughout the universe. It starts with your thoughts. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. There's something else I want to talk to you about. You guys have seen this? Some people will say, oh, she's selling stuff. I'm supplying tools to change people's lives, and everything I do has a purpose behind it that is, for me, massive. I only choose things that I know are going to help people change their lives. And this is what I do for a living, yes, of course. And you can do this too. This is a free workshop. You go in and you learn. There's a free webinar, bonuses, all kinds of stuff. You're going to get hit with all kinds of cool stuff that you can explore. No obligation. Unsubscribe it if you don't like it. People are taking control of their lives, how they're making money. They're taking control of their voice. They are working out of their living rooms or wherever they want to, on the road, whatever. Because if you have an internet connection, you can create an online business. You can reach audiences if you have a message. We'll show you how to do that. We have the best instructors, community, support like you wouldn't believe. You're never alone. You just don't get stuff, how to make money. It's not what it's about. It's about creating an entire lifestyle. And that's why I do this. Because everything I learned has brought me here to you, including the books I write, my websites, my training, my courses, all that stuff, is because of this foundational training, this education that I got, that taught me how to take this and get it out there to the world. Don't underestimate your voice or what you have to offer. You have gifts. Use them. And anything you tell yourself is, me, victim, poor little me, I have a tough childhood. Get in line. Somebody said, oh, my family are dead. I said, hello, McFly. Mom, Dad, my cousin, both my pets, my brother. I just keeps going and going. Yeah, what's your point? I mean, we can't die. No one dies. Can you celebrate this experience? This is amazing. You're here, you got to be here during this. This is amazing. Triumph, make it beautiful. Be that force that drives it into that next earth, that new earth that's happening right now. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Awakening. Namaste.